Hi everybody. Well, what do you know? Ashley Madison, the famous Let's Have an Affair website that encourages married people to date and cheat, was hacked. The hackers seem to be morally minded. They gave out a statement that these cheating dirtbags don't even deserve to have their privacy protected. They also threatened the parent company of Ashley Madison to take down the website, or they would disclose the private information, including the professed sexual fantasies of millions of Ashley Madison users. Now, whether or not Ashley Madison continues, it's not going to change infidelity, unfaithfulness, and adultery. So this is a short insight into why men, for the moment, cheat. We'll look at wives at another time. The common perception is that men cheat on their wives because they want to have sex. The problem with that theory, that misguided theory, is that something like 60% of husbands' affairs aren't even physical. A lot of them are cyber affairs. They take place over the internet chat rooms. A lot of them are over the telephone. A lot of them are just emotional confession. They're emotional attachments. No sex or anything physical is involved. So why do men cheat? Here's why. The average husband cheats in order to feel desirable. He wants to feel like he's special. He sees himself as broken and insignificant. And the more special and desirable he feels to a woman who isn't his wife, the more he begins to feel like $1,000,000. Most men cheat out of a sense of insecurity. They're trying to be propped up from the outside. Now, the question that you should be asking as I say this is, well, if men cheat because they want to be desirable to a woman, if they're cheating in order to feel a sense of significance, then why isn't their wives' attention enough? Why don't they want to have their wives make them feel desirable? And the answer is simple. The average man who thinks that he's a giant zero, a loser, looks at the woman dumb enough to marry him as a loser squared. She is rendered even more insignificant than he is. Remember about a decade ago when AOL was just an internet dial-up service and they took over Time Warner? Time Warner owns HBO and CNN. As AOL became more and more worthless and valueless, the stock price of even Time Warner, the whole value of the company, collapsed, because anything times zero becomes zero. If I feel that I have no significance, then the woman who marries me, she has allied herself with worthlessness, with valuelessness. She therefore cannot make me feel special. What this means is that the man who cheats is a bottomless pit for affection. And all he's doing is delaying the inevitable. He'll have this affair, that affair. He's still never going to feel good about himself. The Aga Khan famously said, the man who even marries his mistress has left a vacancy. He's still going to need some stranger to make him feel like he's special. A far better, more moral solution, let alone for the welfare of the family, is for husbands to begin to have the courage to talk to their wives about their anxieties, their fears, their doubts. If you look at yourself as one of those broken American males, a man who is shattered on the inside, who looks at his life in his 30s and his 40s and starts saying to himself, do I matter? Have I made enough money? And this isn't only people who aren't successful who ask this question. Big politicians, Bill Clinton, giant sportsmen, Tiger Woods, they're driven by the same insecurities. They're always one step ahead of feeling like they're going to collapse. Whether it's a politician who has to win every election, or people will stop returning his phone calls, or the sportsman who feels he has to stay on top of the championships, or even the networks will cease covering him, and his fan base will be lost. Demons are always whispering in our ear that we are worthless. And when a man hears that, he has a choice. He can either get artificial respite and artificial support from someone who isn't his wife, or he can turn to his soulmate. He can turn to his life's partner, the mother of his children, the woman courageous enough to share his life, often taking his last name and making her feel that she is the ear to his doubts, that she is the salve to his wounds, she is the comfort to his pain. And together they can forge a life together where even if we're still battling our inner demons, we can go forth and slay dragons, conquer things together as a unique and united couple, for the good of our children, the good of the family, the good of society. Leave Ashley Madison alone. You don't want your stuff spilled all over the internet. Even if that weren't to happen, you don't want to hurt the person who means the most to you in the entire world. As I always say, are you really a success in life if the people who mean the most to you think the least of you? This is Rabbi Shmuley.